guys, it's Justin from JJ Longboards, and today I'm going to be doing a review on my rather worn-in BC Eel. Had this board for, I want to say 5 months now today, and I've ridden it enough to get a pretty solid opinion on it, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little review on it. Starting with the specs, it comes in at 41 inches, has a nice width of 9.5 inches, and as you can see, it's got a pretty mild concave of half an inch. And the wheelbase comes in at, I think, 30 inches and 3/4, I want to say, so it's a pretty nice long wheelbase. I just want to start by saying that this board is just a great all-around board. You can really do literally everything on this board, and I just love that because it was a great fun board to get. I was just getting into longboarding, not just getting into it, but I was getting into different disciplines of longboarding. I was starting to do a little bit more downhill, a lot more free riding. And when I got this board, it was just able to help me do it all and learn it all, and it was just great all around. A lot of people compare this board to the Loaded Dervish, which I agree with to an extent. I honestly, in my personal opinion, think it's better than the Dervish because of the price. You can't really beat the price on this board. The deck I bought for $120, and then I went to my local skate shop to throw on what I have right here, which is, I'll go ahead and do the quick specs. It's got Paris, Orangutan Durians, and Domes Reds, 83A wheels. But yeah, I bought the deck for $120, and then I went to the skate shop to buy the rest of this. And it probably ended up going up to $240, I think was the final price, while the Dervish would be in the upper 200s and lower 300s, depending on if you got the same setup. And also, this board can be purchased in 2 different flexes, kind of like the Dervish, and the Dervish has more flexes. But the flexes on these boards, they're really specific. I have the fat-free flex, so it's a little more flexy and a little more responsive. So it's not as suited for downhill as, say, the Boss Flex would be, because if you wanted to do more downhill with this board, you would definitely get the Boss Flex because it'll be more stiffer and you'll be less liable to speed wobbles, which I definitely got at one point on this board, going, I think, 25. But that was my fault. I probably could have tightened the trucks a little better, and I probably could have gotten out of that situation. But it was a bad situation overall, and I don't want to think about it. But yeah, as far as free riding goes with this board, I really do like free riding on this board. You definitely can do a lot on this board as far as free riding goes. You can do standees. I do standees on it all the time, hillside, toe side. It's a little bit harder to hold out standees on this board because the concave on it isn't as large, but it is large enough to keep you kind of locked in. But when you get going at high speeds, it gets a little more sketchy. But a way you could fix that is you could definitely buy some new grip tape to throw on. The grip tape that comes with the Eel is alright, but as you can see, I've kind of tore it up a little, and it'll definitely do. But if you plan on doing some more intense free riding with this board, I'd definitely go out and purchase some Vicious. It's not that expensive, and Vicious really does make a great difference to your board, and it's a great purchase. One of the main aspects of this board is dancing and freestyle. You can dance great on this. If you get the fat-free, it's flexy, it feels great. It's pretty long, 41 inches, so you have a lot of room on the board to mess around. And although it doesn't have kicks and tails, the kicks and tails are, I guess you could say, extended because they are pretty long. So it gives you plenty of foot space on the board to do freestyle tricks, flip the board around, shove it, whatever you want to do on this board. Alright, so on the durability of this board, I was very impressed by the durability of this board. This board kind of turned into my throw-around board after I got a couple other boards. I ended up buying the Langouts 95. So this did kind of turn into my I mess around with board, I try new things on. So I ran it into a lot of curves, and eventually I ended up running it into a pretty steep wall, which ultimately ended up getting this little crack on it. And I was just really impressed because I ran it into things really hard, and I thrashed it around, and it stayed in shape good. It's just got a little scuffs that I could have gotten out, but I just haven't gotten out yet. But overall, it's got a great durability, and I was really impressed with that. The graphic on this board, one of the great things about BC is they allow you to get a custom graphic there at BC, and it's for free. So if you're wanting to do your own thing and get your own kind of thing on the board, you can definitely get a custom graphic. I went ahead and got the stock graphic for this board, which is just a panda, and I like pandas, so I couldn't argue there. And I also really didn't want to wait to get the custom graphic because you do have to wait a little bit longer, which I don't blame because you're getting your own personal graphic, which I think if you really wanted something like that, it's definitely worth the wait. So yeah, Overall, we're going to go ahead and show you guys a flex test and some of the board in action. But I definitely say if you're looking for a great all-around board that can do some beginner to intermediate riding, then I definitely go check this out at bclongboards.com. It's a great board. It's a great price. They also got 2 other boards down at their shop. They got the Murray and the Barracuda, with the Murray being a little bit shorter freestyle and free ride board, and the Barracuda being their short board. And keep an eye on them because they got new stuff coming this summer, so just make sure to keep an eye on them, check them out. If you like the video, please subscribe. We got more tutorials on the way and a compilation we just came out with today, an edit. So be sure to check that out. Here's some of the board in action. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, I weigh about 130 pounds. So with this fat free flex, I am able to bottom it out. I'll see if I can bottom it out. And since it's made of bamboo, it doesn't really affect it that much. But I would definitely not recommend testing it out while you're riding. But yeah, it's got a great flex.